Welcome back to Shopee review. Today it's a bit different because it's Huawei Smartwatch 3. But before we got into it, let me just quickly change my clothes. Oh, that was quick, wasn't it?
Shopee review, we check for you.
Now let's talk about smartwatch. Everything is smart, right? Include your smartphone, you have a laptop, you have a tablet, everything is smart, even a watch, right? So that is why we're here today to talk about smartwatch. Who would want a such? On a personal level, I have never had a smartwatch and I was given the chance to play around with Huawei's latest watch, Huawei Watch 3. When you talk about watches, what are some of the things that you need to look into before purchasing it, right? First thing that I always want to look into is the design of the watch itself. So right here, the Huawei Watch 3, it is a bit of an aesthetic design, I would say. The stainless steel body, you know, the glass front, the back that is made out of ceramic. It's just super lightweight. In total, I believe this is 54 grams. Apart from the entire design, over here you also have the crown, which acts like a scroll button for your menu. And also when you go to settings, it also acts as a scroll. Over here you also have a button that when you click it, it'll activate this workout mode right here. Despite being really thin and being very light, I do find there's a bit of a drawback to the design, I would say. As you guys can see over here, there's a bump right there, which sometimes for me can cause a little bit of a discomfort, but it shouldn't bug you too much. It is fine. I understand why there's a bulk over there, because that is where the heart rate monitor, the stress level monitor is placed at. So it's for my own health benefit. Previously, all their smartwatches were running Wear OS. But this time around, they want to switch their games up, you know, they want to up their game. They decide to include Harmony OS. It's pretty straightforward, it's pretty simple. Scroll up for your settings right here. There's a lot of features that I really enjoy over here, right? Airplane mode, drain, silent, screen on. Now, if you click the crown, it will bring you to the menu where you'll see a lot more apps that are available here. All the features that they've included inside the smartwatch, it's something that I would use on a daily basis. So I feel like using this watch actually improved my life to a certain degree, you know? It actually makes me consider of getting one. Now, like I said, the workout mode on this button, basically you can choose all the workout that you're doing. You have skiing, which we don't have in Malaysia, snowboarding, we don't have in Malaysia, cross-country skiing, we also don't have in Malaysia, but what we have in Malaysia is indoor running, outdoor running, all of those typical stuff. So this smartwatch right here, it's AMOLED 1.43-inch display. Well, of course, it's capable of, you know, your typical swiping and tapping and long holding and press, long press and all that. It's pretty typical. I like the idea of having an AMOLED screen on this watch. Why? Because AMOLED is well known for how well they conserve your battery life. And on top of that, Huawei also include two battery modes. We have the ultra long battery mode and also the smart mode. So what that means is the smart mode, well, you get all these typical features, you know, you can check your heart rate and whatnot, you can get notification and all that. However, if you were to put it on ultra long, what happens is that your watch ended up being not really of a smartwatch, isn't it? But that's not the whole point. Of course, ultra long battery mode is just for you, just in case your battery is running out. You just click on that, just to make sure that your watch is constantly on. I definitely feel like the highlight is on the smart mode because it could last about 22 hours, which is pretty long, you know. 22 hours is enough to get you by the day. What? You spend about 16 to 18 hours outside at work, right? The rest of the time you'll be at home, and at home you won't probably be using your watch as much as you use it outside, right? Speaking of battery, let's talk about the charging capability on this thing. So it comes with a wireless charging. It is 10-watt wireless charging, so I've tested it. When I charged it, it took about 1 hour 50 minutes to 2 hours to get it to full charge, and the fact that it took about that time to give you 22 hours of battery life, that's amazing, isn't it? So let's talk about the connection on this smartwatch right here. So it is capable of connecting to a Wi-Fi, pretty standard to a lot of smartwatches these days. You know, you got your typical Bluetooth connection as well. Also, it's capable of having an eSIM connection as well. But how was the process like when I connected to my smartphone? So I'm using a non-Huawei device. Not to say it's a problem, but it just takes a little bit of extra step to connect it to this smartwatch. Even though it was an extra step, but it was a smooth connection overall. Now, with all that being said, right, the fact that it's capable of connecting to Wi-Fi and eSIM, actually this device, this watch, can actually be a standalone communication device. You can call someone, you can WhatsApp messages, your Facebook notification, your Instagram notification, and I think that's a really bonus point that Huawei included on this device. Okay, so when I mentioned that the fact that this device right here, it can be a standalone telecommunication device, it is because it's actually equipped with a mic and a speaker inside. And the fun part about that is you can actually play music through it. You can also adjust the volume right here. So, you can play music through your watch. However, I don't see why I would do that. And also because this music right here is not being played directly from my phone. I mean, if they could actually do that, like if I could play Spotify on here, then I think that'll be a pretty good idea. But right now, in order for me to play music through my watch, I need to have to download music and put it on the Huawei Health app. It's a bit of an extra step, like I said earlier, and only then you can play your music on your watch. I feel like it's a pretty cool gimmick. It's a party trick, right? You can go out and tell your friend, hey, can your watch do this? So my watch can. So it's a pretty cool concept. So the fact that it has a mic and a speaker, it is also capable of making calls. So right now, I want to test out the audio quality in terms of making calls on this watch. And let's go ahead and call one of our friends and we'll see what it sounds like. Hello, Farah.
Hi, Bryler.
Hi, how do I sound like?
Pretty clear.
Alright, cool, because I'm testing the Huawei Watch 3 right now, the audio and the speaker test. I'm glad that it sounds alright. You sound pretty clear too. This is pretty cool.
Yeah. You sound really clear.
Hey, don't be nervous. You're not on camera, alright? I'm the one who's being on camera right now. But anyway, yeah, I'm just calling you to test out the quality on that one. Thanks for picking up. That was that. I think that was pretty good. It makes me feel like I'm a spy, Like, yo. So it's a pretty cool concept. I like the fact that I can pick up my calls from the watch. It's definitely a feature that I really appreciate, It's just super futuristic, man. Now it's not really a smartwatch if it doesn't include multiple sensors in it, right? You get to see a lot of these sensors on most smartwatches these days, and Huawei did not miss out on that one as well. So at the back over here, you get to see multiple sensors. There's your heart rate monitor, stress level monitor, your SPO level monitor, and on top of that, you also can track the amount of steps you take and the GPS tracking, man. I gotta say, not gonna lie, the GPS tracking on this watch right here definitely does a pretty good job on tracking my movement. Its main focus is to track your footsteps, to track your movement, right? So I went for a jog, the other day to test out the capability of the GPS tracking. So when we talk about GPS tracking, one of the many concerns that we have is whether it can detect those small alleys around your neighborhood. And to my surprise, they did. They did pretty well on this one. So they did track all my movement in the small alleys that I walked through, It also managed to track my movement when I went for a jog around the park. So I guess the GPS is pretty much working fairly well. Once you're done with all your jog, you can actually keep a track record of it, to sync it with your phone, with your device, and then you'll have those records on your device as well. Alright, so you guys know what's up. So the reason why I bought a tank of water right here is to test out this feature that they said that it has the capability to drain out water off the watch if it were to be submerged underwater. Of course, not on purpose, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and try it because why not, right? So without any further delay, guys, let's try out this moment of truth. All right, let's submerge that. As you guys can see, it's completely submerged, right? I wonder if it's actually still functioning. The touchscreen is not working if it's underwater, but you can still see the screen is on. So let's go ahead and pull it out. I am worried, man. You can tell that there's water inside. Number one, because right here, there's a speaker hole right there, and I believe there must be some water that went inside there. And also this crown right here, I believe there's also tiny bits of holes inside, but let's test out the feature that I was talking about. So right here, drain. Does it actually spits it out? It says shake and tilt the watch. I guess I can understand why Huawei came up with this feature, right? I mean, you clearly saw I dunked this thing in the water. I definitely submerged it under the water, and it still is able to perform pretty well. It doesn't disrupt my usage of this smartwatch right here. I can still touch, I can still press, I can still do whatever I want to do. But if the watch starts to behave a bit, you know, crazy, if you might say that way, that's when you would use to drain out those small bits of water that is inside the watch itself. The resistance towards water is definitely amazing though, because right now I can still use it. You guys saw when it was underwater, I can't use it. You know, I can see, I can click on it, but I cannot use the touchscreen. But when I pull it out of the water, give it a few wipes, it's still able to perform. That's the waterproofing system on this watch right here, and it's amazing. So who would want this device? Who is this for? Who can I recommend it to? Technically, everyone. I'm not gonna lie, I think conventional watches, to be honest, it's more than just a luxury these days. But if we were to talk about giving purpose of, you know, more than just telling you time, a smartwatch is definitely something you could look into. It's those little details that makes your life a lot more organized, and this definitely helps with it. So that's my review on the Huawei Watch 3. If you are interested, click on the link down below and check it out. You'll be surprised by how much it actually costs. Definitely stay tuned on this channel because we have so much more product to check out. Because here at Shopee Review,
We check for you!
that's it from me today. Bye bye.